Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK and welcome back to 9 episode 3. The last episode, not too much happened. It was really just a day to relax after everything kind of went down, but also there was a little bit of information floating about. We got to learn what was going on there with our instructor, so it wasn't actually her. It was her being possessed or controlled by somebody else or something else, supposedly Iris of lore. And or of the lore that we've heard of, and that is quite the twist, even more of a twist than our instructor actually playing a part here. But you know, let's not say things too confidently yet. You know, she could probably still play a part later on because of her connections. Hard to say, and it's also hard to really believe what anybody is saying nowadays. Sophie, I'm very, very wary of, as I've been from the get-go on episode 3 because of what we saw in episode 2. Plus, she just doesn't really want to be completely cooperative. So yeah, there's reasons to not trust Sophie all the way. And there's reasons not to trust, well, the supposed individual that we just met. So yeah, that's our wacky scenario that we've got going on here. Also, I guess Kosaka was about to get bullied or reminded of her past, so here we are, back at the abode. I couldn't think of anywhere that we'd be sure not to run into those guys again, so I ended up taking Senpai back to my place. She puts down the bottle of water in her hands and nods. Oh, you're all good. It really was scary because I thought somebody from Rig Veda was behind us, but no, it's just a bunch of random guys, I guess, from her past. I'm burning with curiosity, but this isn't the kind of thing I can ask about lightly. Before, Senpai told me that she was bullied in elementary school. Those guys we saw back there were obviously the ones who had bullied her. Her complexion's gotten a little better now, but she was white as a sheet until a few minutes ago. When I tried talking to her, she was even less responsive than normal. She's obviously having flashbacks to her time in elementary school. This whole time she's been sitting curled up in the corner of my room. Those memories must be really traumatic for her. I can't just ask her, hey, what happened back there? But at the same time, I feel like it would be wrong not to ask about her situation too. It's also possible that talking about it will help her feel better. Man, if Sora was here, she would know what to say. Actually, hang on, isn't it like super insensitive for a guy to bring a girl who's afraid of men into his room right after she ran into the guys who traumatized her? Did I just fuck up big time? No. I think there's a really strong connection building here. Obviously, there has to be because this is her episode, but no, there's a definite strong connection that's been formed. I don't think she just sees him as another guy, therefore somebody to be afraid of. She sees him as a friend. Therefore, I don't think there's necessarily an issue here. Plus, they've been alone in here together. Shit, I can't tell. What's the right thing to do here? Well, for now, let's just talk about something. The silence is getting oppressive. Yeah, let's sort of probe a little bit, not push the issue. And I think it would be good to talk about it if she's willing, but don't push her too hard. But definitely also be there and give her the space that she needs. It's a really difficult double-edged sword that we have to mess with here. Ah, shit. Yeah, come on. We just need to be there for her. Tears spill from Senpai's eyes. Did I say something wrong? No, I really don't think so. Or does this have nothing to do with me? After a few seconds of confused panic, I eventually settle for grabbing the tissue box and offering it to Senpai. You're good. She pulls a tissue out and wipes at her tears. She then takes another one and folds it neatly in half. She blows her nose. No shit. She starts folding the tissue further with a relieved look on her face, but then she stiffens when she sees me and averts her gaze. Yeah, it was a little gross. I mean, it's honestly for me, it's really whatever, because maybe it's because I'm a guy, I really don't give a shit, like, where people, you know, blow their nose. I guess as long as it's into, like, a tissue, I don't have an issue. But yeah, just I don't see it as a problem, me personally.
いえいえ、ゴミ箱そっちです。
I know a lot of people will like go outside or go to the bathroom or something like that to do it, but I think it's fine, you know, as long as we're friends, you know. Maybe if it's like a stranger or some shit, Senpai throws the tissue away, looking even smaller than before. I guess bringing her to my room wasn't the wrong call, at least. Apparently, she's relaxed enough to think it's her own room. I'm a bit surprised by how loudly she could blow her nose, but that's probably not the time. Yeah, now's not the time to bring that up.
本当にすみません。急に変になったり。
Again, you are good.
大丈夫です。まあ、なんていうか、いろいろありますもんね。
話してもいいですか?
Oh, please. Yeah, I mean, if somebody is willing to fully open up and talk about something, you let them. Like, that is the best thing that you can do as a friend. I guess Senpai noticed that I wasn't worried about whether or not I should ask. If she wants to talk about it, then I have no reason to refuse. I sit up straight and nod.
気づいてると思いますけど、小学生の4年生から6年生
That's a very specific range of class.
私をいじめていた一人がさっきいて、頭が真っ白になっちゃいました。
Okay, so it's just one of them. Got
普
it.
段この辺りでは。
初めてです。初めて見ました。
It's actually kind of weird because, like, I have not come across, like, anybody from my childhood in, like, years and years and years. We're talking, like, since high school. Not that I was bullied or anything, but when you grow up around the same people for such a long period of time, especially in youth, and, yeah, I mean, if you see them out in the open, I mean, we've all aged a little bit, we've all grown. There's this weird spectacle of being able to recognize them somehow. And I'm sure that's what that is exactly what happened here. Except this time it was for, like, worse, not better. Wow, she was thorough. That guy must have hurt her really bad if she went to these lengths. I don't know him, but now I hate his guts. I mean, bullying is still bullying. Yeah, it's just straight picking on her. That's not... No, that's fucking terrible. Well, that's just regular, you know, childishness. It's just one long list of the kinds of bullying elementary schoolers get up to. The fact that I can easily imagine it happening just pisses me off even more. Oh, but it spread. Oh, okay. Like, as children, I think it's pretty normal for, like, some teasing here and there. Like, the whole cuties, or cooties, or whatever shit. Like, that is a pretty normal thing, and it's, like, a pretty good back and forth, you know? But usually, it can go a little far, and kids don't know better. And in this case, it just kind of grew so one-sided, and more people join on that side. Yeah, that's a bad look. Yeah, but that stuff will stick with you.
それからできる限り目立たないように生きてきました。誰にも目をつけられないように、ひっそりこっそり。
Senpai's words pierced my chest. Yeah, that actually affected her. It affected how she went about her life. If you think about it, that kid probably started teasing Senpai because he had a crush on her. They messed with her because they wanted to grab her attention. Then some of the other girls joined in because they were jealous of her. The original cause of the bullying was probably just childish insecurity. Yeah, I mean, it's, like I said, childishness. It's a lot of back and forth. Usually there's nothing behind it. Usually it's just like a boy versus girl sort of thing over in elementary school. I mean, I think a lot of us here can agree that we've all seen it, experienced it, Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's a United States thing, mostly. You know, we're a little weird over here. That being said, bullying someone for 3 whole years is too much. Yeah, that is a little extensive. Even if the bullying started with a crush, that's not something that can be forgiven. Besides, it's not like Senpai will feel any better knowing her bullies were just acting on positive feelings instead of negative ones. Really, it's just sad. Yeah, the damage is done. At her core, Senpai's a bright and lively person. She wears her heart on her sleeve and she loves expressing herself. If she hadn't been bullied, then she wouldn't be living her life trying to look as insignificant as possible while avoiding everyone's gazes. She'd be a normal, cheerful girl with a cute smile. If she had never been bullied, she wouldn't have retreated into her shell and become terrified of what waited outside of it. It's sad, and it pisses me off. I want to bring back the real Senpai. Maybe it's arrogant of me to think that, but I just feel like I have to help her. It's gonna take a lot of time.
地元でもいいです。どこでも絶対駆けつけますから。もう怯えなくていいです。
No, that's good.
俺が守りますよ。
I think that's pretty good. Senpai stares at me, her mouth half open. Hang on. Wasn't that basically like a confession? I mean, I didn't really see it as that. I feel like I said some pretty ridiculous things in the heat of the moment, but I don't want to take any of it back. Because those are my true feelings. I want to protect Senpai. I want to protect her from all of the unreasonable unfairness of the world. I want to make it so that she can smile without having to worry about anything. Which is probably why he went through the lengths that he did to try and be a double agent and everything. He wanted to protect her deep down. He didn't want her to get hurt.
新見さんと一緒のクラスが良かったです。
1年生まれるのが遅かったですね。
でも今会えて良かったです。ありがとうございます。嬉しいです。
Senpai smiles, wiping the tears from her eyes. Thank God she's smiling. I internally breathe a sigh of relief.
新見さんは本当に
Hey,
私
you good? You good?
白馬の
Flustered, Senpai suddenly trails off. Oh yeah, remember the other night?
すみません。言ったら絶対照れることを言いそうだったのでこらえました。
なるほど。
I mean, we all know where that was going. She already said night in, so it's not hard to guess what the rest of that would have been. But I probably shouldn't point that out. Senpai always cuts herself off so suddenly, and I'm still getting used to it. Yeah, it is kind of surprising at
今
times.
日は新見さんに元気になってもらおうって誘ったのに変な空気にしちゃって。
Nah, you're good.
めっちゃ楽しかったですよ。実は足湯初めてだったんです。
よかった。私も元気をもらいました。ありがとうございます。
何かあったら遠慮なく言ってください。俺も困った時は先輩に相談します。
はい。
Smiling, Senpai nods. Thank God she's back to her usual self. I'm glad I could help her out.
じゃあ今度こそ帰ります。
駅まで送ります。
でも
送らせてください。
Not like we got anything else to do today.
はい。お願いします。
Again, we're still having to rest per Senpai, or not Senpai, per Sophie's request. Sorry, I'm getting my S's mixed up all of a sudden. Senpai smiles hesitantly and gets to her feet. Maybe I'm just imagining it, but she seems happy that I insisted. Oh yeah, of course. She doesn't have to go it alone. Senpai suddenly stops in the entryway.
忘れ物ですか？
いえ。勘違いだったらごめんなさいなんですが。
Uh-oh.
お部屋に来たのはお風呂。
What? No, come on.
違います。そんな意図は全くないです。
That's carrying on from the previous video.
ですよね。ごめんなさい。
Blushing, Senpai waves her arms wildly while awkwardly putting her shoes on.
お邪魔しました。
行きましょうか。
やっぱり一人で帰ります。
No.
大丈夫ですか？
新見さんが大丈夫じゃないことになりそうなので、主に私の妄想のせいで。
Oh, I'm sure nothing would happen.
じゃあお邪魔しました。失礼します。
Well, at least she'll have all that, like, I guess taking the front lines in her mind so that she doesn't have to think about all the depressing shit we just talked about, so I think she'll be okay. Senpai bows deeply and then runs out before I can stop her. I'm worried about her, but it would probably be awkward if I chased after her now. Feeling conflicted, I head back to my room. We're gonna try and get some rest. We gotta catch up on some sleep here. I sit down on my bed and stare absently at the floor. Bullying, huh? I wonder if the reason why Senpai is so sensitive to the sadness of other people is because she has experienced so much of it herself. The kindness that she showed me yesterday and today have done a lot to soothe the pain in my heart. I want to do the same for her. However... Yeah, a little bit. But you know what? I stand by it. I stand by his words. I flop onto my bed and bury my head into my pillow. I'll protect you. I can't believe I said something so cliched, straight out of Kingdom Hearts. But now I've said it, I've got to be true to my word. From now on, no matter what comes our way, I'll definitely protect you. I guess this is our little bit of a Kakeru x Kosuka that we have to squeeze in here because this is her episode here. I think we are done with the weekend. Yep, the weekend ends and it's Monday again. Now there was a whole bunch of, I guess, focusing on the relationship in episode 1 that, yeah, we kind of forgot about like the main plot for a little bit, but episode 2 definitely, I think, balanced things a whole lot better and took a pretty good focus on the relationship between Kakeru and Sora through the issues that she was having that also carried over to him. So I think episode 2 balanced everything fucking perfectly. Very curious to see how things continue to go here in episode 3. Yoichi hasn't made any moves for now, at least none that we're aware of. There haven't been any new cases of people being petrified in the news anyway. 2 days of rest did wonders for my injuries, but I still feel tense. Golden Week starts tomorrow. All of my classmates are excited about the upcoming holiday, but all I can think about is our upcoming confrontation. There's an upcoming confrontation? It's not scheduled, that's for sure. It's time for homeroom, our last period. School was relatively uneventful today. As expected, Yoichi didn't come to school. According to Kosuka-senpai, Takamine didn't come either, which I predicted in the previous video. Both of them have obviously gone into hiding. Moreover...
あと、なんだっけ。ああ、そうだ。構成員は行動に集合だそうです。あとは...
I think everything's good with her. Miss Naruse is the same as always, lazily delivering today's announcements. She doesn't seem any different as far as I can tell. Does she really not remember that night? If so, how do we get in touch with Iris again? I guess I'll try talking to Miss Naruse after homeroom is over and see if I can't learn anything. If she remembers everything, sweet. If not, yeah, that's where things get a little tricky. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Worst case scenario, we just wait for Iris to contact us again.
はい、連絡事項は以上。起立例は省略。
What
気
an
をつけて帰ってね。
irresponsible teacher. Damn. Homeroom ends and the classroom suddenly gets a lot more lively. I get to my feet and start walking over to Miss Naruse.
新見くん。
Oh, here we go. I forgot that there is like a bit of a connection between Kakeru, Sora, and what was her name? Miss Naruse? But before I can take more than a few steps, she calls out to me. Does this mean... I sling my bag over my shoulder and walk over to the podium. I can't think of any school-related reason she'd want to talk to me. Which means...
何ですか?
この後ちょっといい?
Oh, we don't have a life? Yeah, absolutely.
大丈夫ですけど。
神様のことでお話が。
Okay. I think she kind of remembers. Yeah, she remembers. This is perfect. I still don't trust Iris, but now I can hear the details from Miss Naruse.
職員室ですか?
他の先生の前でっていうか生徒の前でも嫌だけど変な話するのはね。
ああ、そうですね。
っていうかさ、君連絡してきなさいよ。土日待ってたのに。
Well, we didn't know we were supposed to contact you?
いや、先生覚えてないかもって思ってて。部活に話したら面倒なことになるなって。
いや、覚えてる覚えてる。超覚えてる。
Damn, so she just was there and she had no control.
なら連絡すればよかったっすね。また神様から声かけられるの待つべきかとか考えてました。
お互い待ってたわけね。まあいいや、今日話そう今日。
先々地行きましょうか。夜にでも。
うちに来られてもな。本当は私が新見くんち行けばいいんだけどね。
俺一人ですね。
でも仕事帰りに寄るのだるいから今済ませたいんだよね。
だるいっすか。
What a lazy ass teacher. Well, person in general, but I figured that she'd still be in shock over something or someone taking over her body. But she says what now? I can't pronounce that. I feel like I'd have a stroke trying to put all those syllables together. We know that she's lazy.
とりあえず中庭で待っててくれる？すぐ行くから。
わかりました。
じゃあ後で。
I'd say lackadaisical? I feel like that's what it may have said. She stacks the worksheets that she's collected together and walks out of the classroom, excuse me. I begin to follow her out, but then I suddenly stop. I stare at Yoichi's empty desk. He's probably never going to come to school again. I turn my eyes away from his desk and leave the room. Those days when we fooled around without a care in the world will never return. That is a little depressing, but also I don't have that much of an attachment to him as Kakeru would. I'm surprised she's taking this in stride. In the end, we can't find a convenient private location, or rather Miss Naruse decided it would be too much trouble to even try, so we're just talking in the middle of the courtyard. According to her, this won't take long, so I guess it doesn't matter that much.
怪奇現象とか全然信じてないし、白蜜川の伝承もある種の創作物として楽しんでいたんだけどね。
Damn, she wasn't on board with any of it?
そうそう。ちょっと体貸してって言われたから、OK。
You just said sure?
軽っ。
興味あったし、どんな感じかなって。
Oh, you know what? That's fair. Honestly, I wouldn't... Actually, you know what? I do fucking mind being possessed, but like... I don't know. I feel like I would really need to know the party that's wanting to possess me. If it's some demon of the night or a vampire, probably not, but I don't know if it's like a friend or family member, I guess. Miss Naruse smiles contentedly. So she handed her body over to a god just to satisfy her curiosity. Damn, she's got balls. That's one way of putting it. Come to think of it, didn't Sophie say it's possible that there's a piece of the relic in my body as well? Or wait, was that one of the theories that she said she disproved? Whatever, that's not important right now. The shrine's relic is actually the artifact called World's Eye. That means Miss Naruse is a World's Eye user just like Sophie. So she can see into other branches in the same way as Sophie? If so, our best bet might be to put our faith in Miss Naruse. I don't know if I want to do that, honestly.
で、話なんだけど。
そうでした。すみません。俺ばっかり質問しちゃって。
まだ聞きたいことある？
あるっちゃありますね。
後にして仕事戻りたいから。
はい。
私からは一つだけ。
Her smile disappears, and her expression turns serious.
危ないことしてない？
Oh, we are. We really are. I don't know if we should tell her about Yoichi. I was thinking about that back when we were still in the classroom. Like, how much do we want to let her in on? Because she is like a direct connection into Iris. In a way, we are also a direct connection to Sophie. We don't know when Sophie's always around. We don't know when Iris is around Miss Naruse, so this is kind of a tricky one.
してます。
うわぁ、バカ正直。
Sighing, she gets to her feet.
聞きたかったのはそれだけ。やめろって言ってもやめられないだろうから言わないけど、私も無関係じゃいられないみたいだし、できることはするから。無茶はしないようにね。
はい。
So all we can do is just try to be okay.
即答しなかったのが気になるけど、まあいいか。後のことは神様に聞いてね。私じゃ答えられないし。神様に用があるときは連絡して準備しておくから。
Oh, that easily, huh?
わかりました。ありがとうございます。
I guess we can start preparing some stuff
そ
together.
れじゃあね。ああ、こういうこともっと
I'm pretty sure you're still pretty fucking young. I'm pretty sure you're still in some really early years. She heads inside the school building, muttering to herself, "We're not doing this for fun, you know." Well, I admit that we were having some fun with our new powers in the beginning, Yeah, per episode 1, but now...
びっくりした。
すみません。
Looking up, I see Kosaka-senpai standing in front of me. I gesture to the empty spot on the bench, and she hesitantly sits down next to me.
廊下から二人が話しているのが見えて、
Oh, I'm sure you're bound to be curious.
先生のことは信頼できるんでしょうか？
Okay, so a huge part of me, more than like any, other part of me, really wants to trust our instructor. Mostly because, yeah, there is a relationship between Kakeru, Sora, and Miss Naruse. But then there's the god, Iris. It's like, can we trust her? That's the big one.
適当な人ですけどできますよ。昔からすごくお世話になってるんで。
Now, it would really suck, like really, 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 really suck if she was, siding either with her own little thing or whatever, or with Yoichi and Rig Veda. I don't know why the fuck she would, but yeah, that would be a pretty big blow.
昔から。
小さい時からの知り合いなんです。
そうなんですね。
イーリスのことはともかく、先生と協力できれば、今よりもマシになりそうな気はします。
Yeah, that's what I want to hope for as well.
そうですか。二人だけじゃなくて三人だけの秘密。
Wait.
ちょっぴり残念。
Yeah, what the fuck are you getting at? Senpai suddenly cuts herself off, covering her face with her hands. I don't even know what the fuck you were getting at.
気にしなくていいと思いますよ。
もっと考えてから話すように努力します。
She's been a lot more open with us, which I'll take as a positive, even so she's speaking aloud a little bit too much.
はい。
Better than being the quiet person that she was back in the previous episodes.
新見さんのお友達。
What do you mean by that?
マジっすか？
うまくいけばなんですけど。
どんな、いや、みんな集まった時に、
My phone buzzes, and I hurriedly check my messages.
空からか。校門で待ってるから早く来いって。
私にも一緒に行きましょうって来てました。
じゃあ行きますか。
はい。
Yeah, I guess we should reconvene with the others for once. I can worry about whether we should trust Sophie or Iris later. Right now, I'm more interested in knowing what this plan of Senpai's is. Yeah, I'm a little curious here as well.
マジで？さつきちゃんが？
Sora puts down her glass of water and looks at me in shock. We're at 9 Ball, and we've already made our orders. I decided to tell everyone about Miss Naruse while we were waiting for our drinks to arrive. I figured I should get it out of the way first. I do feel a little guilty about not telling the whole truth, but I think it's the right call.
もしかしてホームルームの後に話してたのって。
Actually, I'm gonna be one to sit here, or no, I'm gonna stand. I'm actually not going to right now, but I will say that I don't think it's a good idea to even say that. I don't think we should bring her up whatsoever, because that puts Sophie's eyes on her.
そう、その話。
That's what I don't want to do.
この前分かったんだ。
そういえば先週電車乗らずに戻っちゃいましたもんね。
Yeah, she did a mad dash over to us.
その件はごめんなさい。一緒に帰るはずだったのに。いやいや大丈夫っす。そっか。ニーニと一緒にいたのね。
Yes.
はい。ちょっと気になることがあったのでお話をと思って。ほほん。あ、飲み物来た。コーラこっちとそっちです。
Yeah, let's just ignore Sora. Whatever she comes up with. The waiter places our drinks on the table. We sip our respective beverages for a bit before resuming the discussion.
なんだいその目は。
お前、来るつもり？
うん。
来んなよ。
は？
任せてくれっつったろうがよ、来んなよ。
はあ、なんでだよ、はあ。
むしろなんで来たいんだよ。
いや、みんなで行けばいいじゃん。さつきちゃんも仲間なんでしょ。みんなで話をしに行こうよ。
その必要あります？
うわ、何こいつ仲間意識なさすぎでは。
Again, my big concern here.
ほら、いいんすか、みゃーこ先輩。
Why are you trying to create something here?
あ、ダメだ、鈍感系ヒロインだこの人。ピュアかよ。
Oh, come on.
何に腹を立ててるんだお前は。
私一緒に行かない方が。いや、いいっす。もういいっす。
禁止はしないけど
Okay, the only one that's trying to like create some like calamity here, if you want to even call it calamity. A little bit of chaos, if you will, but nothing really. It's just Sora being a little jealous and stubborn and trying to create a little bit of, you know what, discourse. I'm going to say discourse is a better word here. Trying to involve Kujo because, yeah, I'm sure she has like a little bit of interest in Kakadu, of course. I mean, look at episode 1.
意外と結城先輩察しがいい。
Yeah, stirring the pot. She's stirring the pot. There we go. Good terminology.
だから何なんだお前は。
いや、いいから。まあ単純になんで先輩と二人なのかは疑問だけど。
Because it is episode 3.
実は話していないことがある。
お、なんだ秘密か？
なぜ隠すのか。
口止めされている。
誰に？
誰にかは今は言えない。というか言いたいんだが、言っていいのか迷ってる。
わかった。話さなくていい。
Okay, I appreciate Yuki's cooperation here. Because this really is a difficult subject matter.
悪い。少し時間をくれ。
気になるんだけど。
話すことで事態がどう転がるかわからない。
Yes,
そうい
exactly.
うことなんでしょう。
100% that.
ああ、そうなるな。
そっか。じゃあうかつに話せないね。
本当悪い。
I place my hands on the table and bow my head. I've been thinking about why Iris wants us to keep her existence a secret. My current prevailing theory is that she doesn't want Sophie knowing about her. I mean, that's what I've been saying. If everyone knows about her, the chance of Sophie finding out increases. She probably wants to avoid that. Granted, Sophie's almost always observing us, so it's only a matter of time before she learns about Iris. In fact, she might already know everything. Either way, until I know for sure who to trust, I have to be careful about what information I divulge.
まあとにかくあれだ。話せないことに高坂先輩も関わってるから一緒に行くと。はい。皆さんがよろしければそうしたいと。
反対する理由はない。
私もお願いします。でもなんかあれだね。びっくりだけど納得だな。さつきちゃん白田つくも神社の巫女さんなわけでしょ。
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been saying, is that there's like a little bit of a connection already here.
そうですね。でもどうやって探せばいいんだろう。
Oh, I think Kosaka has a plan.
手当たり次第探すしかないっすかね。
No, shut up, Sora. Sora starts talking the same moment Senpai does. She tenses up for a second and then looks down and falls silent. I totally know how you feel. It's hard to find the right timing to jump into a conversation between a group of people. I have that problem all the time. I do too. God damn, I'm usually just trying to say something where I think a line has finished here in the recording. Nope, it hasn't. I have to shut my trap and wait for that to finish. But in reality, yeah, I mean, whenever you're talking with a group of people and you have something that like needs to be added onto the conversation right then and there, but people keep fucking talking, yeah, it's such a frustrating moment. It really is hard to kind of work with the group, work with the conversation. However, now is not the time to be indecisive. I raise my hand to grab everyone's
ちょ
attention.
っといいか。
ええ。
先輩に作戦があるらしい。
あります。
聞かせて。
私の力は考えたことを現実にする力です。こうなったらいいなって思ったことが現実に起こります。改めて聞くとやばいっすね。
It really is. It really is. But it can backfire, it could not work, and it could also be super effective.
でもその
You have to really convince yourself that you want something to happen.
散歩していたら偶然会えたらいいなってそういう風に考えてみたら
I wonder how that would look from his perspective. He would just pop from one area to another.
うまくいけば実際に偶然会える。会えなくとも何らかの痕跡は見つけられる。
はいです。私の力ならそういうことができると思うんです。
Okay, but we best prepare before you start thinking that.
もう先輩一人いればいいじゃんってくらい便利な力っすな。
Haha, well...
ニーニーどっか心当たりないの？
いや、ないな。
Wait, really?
あいつの家もどこにあるのか知らないし。
いつも
Doesn't he
みんな
know
と
where
遊ん
we
でる
live?
イメージはあるけれど
Or maybe not in this
一人で
episode.
ど
I
こ
think
に
he
行くのか
followed Sora
私
home
も
one
知らない
time.
な。じゃあ司令官の
And
方
by
と
home,
か
I mean to our
高
home.
坂先輩知らないです？アニメの聖地神社によく行くって聞きましたけど。
So, an internet cafe? A manga cafe?
こんな時にさすがに行かないよね。
先生に住所聞いてみるか。教えてくれるかわかんねえけど。
一人を除いて制服を着ていた。あのままでは目立ちすぎるから着替えを取りに帰っているかもしれない。
そのまま普通に家にいたりして。
だったら楽なんだけどな。とりあえずできる限り情報を集めて、準備ができたら先輩に力を
That's
使って
exactly
も
what
らう
I'm
方
thinking.
向で。
We're on the same page here, I think.
頑張ります。なんだかすみません。先輩に
No, no, it's
頼りっぱ
okay.
なし
This is her episode after all. We have to
で
rely on
そ
her.
んな私こそ仲間にしてもらえて嬉しくて頑張りたいので大丈夫です。
見つけ出すことができたら私たちの出番。
私も頑張ります。
Yeah, Cujo, I'm sure you'll do a lot.
これ
Sora,
はあれかな。
we all know where
私だ
you
け
where you
完
stand
全に役
here.
立たずかな。
お前なんでここにいんの？
マジふざけんなよ。そこはかけろよ。優しい言葉かけろよ。
お前の力物とかにもかけられんの？自分だけ？
何？自分以外にもできるけど。
じゃあ石とかにかけて投げたらいいんじゃね？
Yeah, I mean, why not?
地味。そんなのあり。いや、いいね。意外といいねそれ。今度あったら不可視の石ぶん投げたろ。
とにかく今は高坂さんの力に頼るしかない。後日改めて集合しましょう。
Looks like
時
we're
間
gonna
に
be in
余裕
a
のある日に彼らの痕跡を探す。
looks like we're gonna be in a bit of a preparation phase for a little bit.
一緒に行かせてください。負担なんて
Damn,
全然ないです。
she really wants to be involved.
私こうやって仲間と一緒に頑張ること初めての経験で今とても充実感があって。
No, her company's actually pretty welcome. The two of them have actually been a lot of fun to watch together.
ごめんなさい。
Which I didn't think I would ever actually say that in previous episodes, but here we
適
are.
切な発言でした。
いえ、頑張りましょう。共に。
し、じゃあうまくいけばすぐにでもリベンジだね。
いいえ、まだ早い。探すのは痕跡だけ。
なんで？
また負けたいの？
Sora shrinks back in the face of Yuki's curt demeanor. Yuki's got a point, though. Even if we ran into them now, challenging them head on would end the same way it did last time.
リベンジの前
Yeah, like I said, we're in a bit of a preparation phase. We get intel on him, we train a little bit. We'll be good to go for next time, hopefully.
ちゃんと作戦も立てたいし。
猶予はないけれど、焦らず確実に次こそ彼らを仕留める。
Well, as far as we know, in the previous episode, there was not another petrified victim. So, maybe we'll be okay here?
結城先輩がリーダーでよかったね。超冷静、超頼りになる。照れてらっしゃる。
照れてない。今日はここまでとしましょう。根を詰めすぎても仕方がない。
I am so curious for her story. I feel like that's going to be a really interesting one.
とりあえず俺は先生にメッセージ。あの人リングやってないんだ。メール送っとくか。
夜になりますよね。
どうすかね。ちょっと何時になるかわからないし、今日行けるかもわかんないし。
はい。じゃあ何時でもいいので呼んでください。すぐ行きます。
了解っす。
I pull out my phone and start composing an email. Thanks to Senpai, we'll most likely be able to find Yuichi. Now we just have to figure out how to stop him. I hope talking with Miss Naruse, or rather Iris, gives us some ideas. I'm also curious what Sophie is up to. I guess all I can do is pray everything works out in the meantime. I'm very worried for whatever the fuck Sophie is up to right now, because it can't be good. And it is very possible, now that we're alone in our lovely room, that she'll probably just pop into existence, as she tends to whenever we're alone here, but We'll have to wait for the next video to see if she actually does that, or if we'll even come across her anytime now. I mean, it is super likely that she has been kind of following us this entire time, knows that we've gotten in contact with Iris, and she isn't going to work with us anymore because, well, her cover's been blown 100%, or it's about to be. So no point in like cooperating with us anymore. I guess we'll just have to keep on grinding through and see what happens. Thank you all for watching this one. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that fancy jazz, and I will see you all in the next one. Take it easy.